Hello all. In this video, I am going to talk about how to minimize any DFA using Myhill-Nerode method. As you all know, there are basically two methods for DFA minimization. The first method is known to be as equivalence class method, and the second one is called to be as Myhill-Nerode method. So here we are going to discuss about Myhill-Nerode method for DFA minimization. Okay, so basically in this method the algorithm is, it consists of, here we have to provide any deterministic finite automata DFA as the input. The output will be the minimized deterministic finite automata, and the algorithm steps involve, the first step is to, we have to draw a table for all pair of states, that is Qi Qj, not necessarily connected directly. Okay, so initially all the entries in this table are unmarked. Okay, this is the first step. The second step is to, we have to consider every state pair Qi Qj in the DFA where Qi belongs to F and Qj does not belongs to F, or vice versa, and mark them. So what it means, we have to mark every pair of state out of which one belongs to the set of final state and the other belongs to the set of non-final state. Okay, this is called to be as step 2 of this Myhill-Nerode method. Okay, here F denote the set of final state. Now the third step is to, we have to repeat this process of marking until we cannot mark any more state. So for that purpose, what we are doing, if there is an unmarked pair Qi Qj, in that case we have to mark that Qi Qj pair if delta of Qia and delta of Qja is marked for some input alphabet A. Okay, so this is called to be as third step. Now the fourth step is to, we have to combine all the unmarked pair Qi Qj and make them a single state in the reduced DFA. So basically these are the four steps that we will follow whenever we have to minimize any finite automata using Myhill-Nerode theorem. Okay, so how to proceed? This can be demonstrated with one example. Let us say we have to minimize this finite automata having 6 states A, B, C, D, E, F, out of which A is the initial state, C, D, E, these 3 are final state. The input symbol is 0 and 1. Okay, so this is the given DFA and we have to minimize this finite automata. So as I have told you, the first step is to, we have to construct a table for all pair of states. So as you can see in this diagram, we have 6 states, that is A, B, C, D, E, F. Therefore we have to construct a 6 by 6 table having 6 rows and 6 columns, one for each state. Okay, in this DFA we have 6 state, that is A, B, C, D, E, F. That's why we have taken a 6 by 6 table. Out of this 6 by 6 table, we have to consider either the lower triangular area or upper triangular area, any one of these two. Either we have to consider lower triangular area or we have to use upper triangular area, or you can say we have to use lower diagonal area or upper diagonal area. Okay, so what we have done here, we have considered lower diagonal area. This is the diagonal part, A to A, B to B, C to C, D to D, E to E, F to F. This is the diagonal part, and we have to consider the cells below this diagonal area. Okay, this one, which are initially unmarked. Okay, this is called to be as step 1. In this, we have to consider either lower triangular area or upper triangular area of the given table. Okay, now in second step, we have to do marking. We have to mark the state pair, and the condition for marking is that we have to mark every pair wherever the first one of that pair, one state of that pair belongs to the set of final state, and the other state of the pair belongs to the set of non-final state. Okay, so in this table we have marked this all. Okay, here we have marked CAC. This is called AC. The pair AC has been marked because A is non-final state and C is final state. Okay, in the same way we have marked AD because A is the non-final state and D is the final state. We have marked AE because A is the non-final state and E is the final state. Okay, in the same way we have not marked AF because A and F both belongs to the set of non-final state. Therefore here we have not marked AF. In the same way we have not marked the pair AB. This cell represent the pair AB, and the AB pair has not been marked here because A and B both belongs to the set of non-final state. In the same way we have marked BC because B is non-final and C is final state. We have marked BD, again B is non-final, D is final. In the same way we have marked BE because B is non-final and E is final state. We have not marked this BF because B and F both are non-final state, and this process has to be continued. Okay, so we have marked all these 9 cells. Okay, out of this, if you look upon here, AB has not been marked because A and B both are non-final state. This CD has not been marked because C and D both belongs to set of final state. This C and E has not been marked because C and E both are final state. Then here DE has not been marked because D and E both are final state. In the same way AF, it is not marked because A and F both are non-final state. And then BF, it is also not marked because B and F both are non-final state. So this is called to be as step 2, where we have to mark the state pairs out of which one belongs to the set of final state and the other belongs to the set of non-final state. Yes. Okay. So this is called to be as step 2. Now the step 3 is to, we have to try to mark the state pair. Okay, and here we are using this green color just to represent, or we have to mark the states which follow the principle of transitivity. Okay, so how to determine that? So for this purpose, let us say we have to consider this AB, which is not marked initially. Okay, so how to determine whether it will be marked in this step 3 or not? So for that purpose, we have to look whether any input transition to this pair leads to a pair which is already marked or not. Okay, let us say this order pair AB. If you consider this AB pair, and if you look at this diagram, in this the zero transition for A goes to B and the zero transition for B goes to A. So therefore, the zero input for pair AB is equals to the pair AB itself, because the zero for A is B and the zero for B is A. So there zero transition for A and B is leading to A and B pair. And since AB pair is not marked, therefore we will not add any marking. In the same way, the one input for A and B, so one input for A is C and the one input for B is D. Therefore, one input symbol for AB pair leads to CD pair, and this CD pair is not marked already. That's why we will not add the marking to the pair AB, because either of 0 or 1 input is not leading to a state pair which is already marked. Okay. Now let us check for another one. If we consider for this AF, which is now not marked in step 2, in that case the zero transition for A goes to B and the zero transition for F goes to F itself. Here the zero transition for F is F itself, zero transition for A is C. Okay, and the pair CF, this is your CF, is already marked. Okay, the zero input for the pair AF leads to CF, and this CF pair is marked initially in step 2. Therefore, we have to mark pair AF in step 3 due to transitivity. Okay, so we have marked here AF because here one input to the state AF goes to CF and the pair CF has been marked already in step 2. Therefore, we have marked this pair AF by another color, that is green color. Let us say green color, just to remember that it has been added due to this step 3. Okay. In the same way, we have to consider for other unmarked pairs. So let us say here, if we consider this one, this is order, this is pair BF. Okay, and the zero transition for B goes to A and the zero transition of F goes to 0, and the pair AF we have marked previously. We have marked the pair AF in the previous step. That's why we can add a marking to the cell BF, or in other words, you can look for one input. So one input for B goes to D and one input for F goes to F, and the pair DF has been marked already. Here DF has been marked already. So that's why we have added a marking to this BF cell. Now let us say this CD. Okay, yes, you can look upon zero transition for CD pair. Zero transition for CD pair goes to E, because 0 for C and 0 for D both goes to E. Okay, and there is no marking for EE. Okay, in the same way, one transition for C goes to F and one transition for D goes to F, and FF has not been marked earlier. So that's why this has not to be marked in step 3. In the same way, if you consider for this pair CE, okay, zero transition for C goes to E and zero transition for E goes to E, and the pair EE is not marked previously. In the same way, the one transition for C goes to F and the one transition for E goes to F, and FF has not been marked earlier, so we cannot add here. In the same way, we look for DE pair. Okay, the zero transition for D goes to E and the zero transition for E goes to E, and EE has not marked earlier. In the same way, the one transition for D goes to F and the one transition for E goes to F, and FF has not been marked earlier. So therefore now here also we cannot mark. So we have checked that which one states we can mark, which one pairs we can mark. So we can mark only these two additional pairs due to this step 3. And the reason for that has been written here. Okay. Now we cannot mark this one, this one, this one, and this one. These 4 pairs cannot be marked due to step 3 or step 2 earlier. Okay. So this completes step 3. Now after this, the next step is we have to combine the all unmarked states. So here the unmarked state pairs are, this is AB, this is AB, this is CD, this is CE, and this is DE. So these 4 cells are unmarked after this step 3. And out of these 4 states, or you can say out of these 4 state pairs, we can combine 3 state pair, that is CD, CE, and DE in one state, that is CDE, because C is related to D, D is related to E, and C is related to E. So therefore this will be combined together to form a new state, that is CDE. So hence we have defined that in the reduced finite automata we have a combined state, and that is AB and CDE. A will be combined with B and C will be combined with D and E. So therefore finally we are left with only 3 states in the minimized DFA, that is AB one state, CDE second state, and F, that is the third state. Okay, so we have determined that the minimized DFA will have only 3 states, that is AB, CDE, and F. Now we can determine its transitions by using the given DFA. The transition, zero transition for AB goes to AB itself, one transition for AB goes to CDE, zero transition for CDE goes to CDE itself, one transition for CDE goes to F, and 0 1 transition goes to F itself. Okay, since CDE are final state, that's why CDE combine together to form a new final state. In the same way, since A is the initial state, therefore now the combined state AB will be considered to be as initial state. So this is the minimized DFA after using this Myhill-Nerode theorem for the given problem statement. Okay, so this is called to be as Myhill-Nerode theorem for DFA minimization, which consists of 4 states. Let me revise it, where the first step is we have to draw a table for each state pair. The second step is we have to mark the state pairs of which one state belongs to the set of final state and the other state belongs to the set of non-final state. The third step is we have to look for all the unmarked states in the step 2 and determine whether any input transition leads to a state pair which has already been marked. If so, then we have to keep marking that state pair also. Okay, and this process will be continued until we can mark any new state pair in the table. Okay, after that, the last step is we have to combine together all the unmarked states to form a reduced DFA. Okay, thank you all.